Welcome to Touch 'em All Sports Radio. Today is April 4th, 2018. Let's talk about the Braves and the Nats real quick before we get to something really special. Braves and Nationals split the series last night, and they're playing the rubber match today. Braves are up 5-1, as far as I know, as of right now. That's pretty big. Just another quick thing about baseball. Giancarlo Stanton had 5 strikeouts yesterday. Do with that what you will. And Brandon Cooks was traded to the Rams. Keep in mind that the Giants are asking for 2 first-round picks for Odell Beckham Jr., and the Patriots now have that. So, there's your outside sports update. Let's get to something really special. Across the table from me is Coach Morrison and Coach Turnham. Guys, thanks for coming in today.
Appreciate it. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So something big's going on. You're in the middle of spring practice and the spring games coming up. Kind of update us on that, guys.
Well, we're at practice number 10, and looking at what we've been able to accomplish over the last couple weeks, it's been great. The attitude has been great. The energy and the excitement level from both the players and the coaches and the community that have come out and supported us just at practice has been fantastic. So, numbers-wise, we're sitting there with just under 60 on the roster, and these guys they're working real hard, and we're asking for about 2 hours and 15 minutes a day, and to get after it, and they're putting forth a ton of effort.
Coach Turnham, you are the wide receivers coach, correct?
Tight ends.
Tight ends. Okay,
Yep.
My bad. How big of a role is spring practice to you? Like, how important is spring practice?
It's really, really important, actually, especially this first year when the coaching staff is all brand new, because what it's doing right now is it's giving us an opportunity to install everything that we want to do, whether that be offensive schemes or whether it be how I run my meeting room, what my relationships are like with my players, what kind of connections we have off the field, everything that has to do with running your football operation. It gives you a chance to get some of that in and get it done and build an early foundation before you get into fall, when it really starts to matter, when it really starts to count, when the time really starts to count. And so spring is really, really huge, especially that first year where we are right now. And I think that we're starting to see some things fall into place. We're starting to see some guys turn some corners, and that's going to put them in a really, really good situation, a really good position moving into the fall.
Okay, and then in talking about that, you guys had a pretty huge recruiting class.
Yeah, huge is an understatement. We ended up signing around 75 kids, and these student athletes, they're just that. A lot of the 75, over 66 of them have over a 3.0. Of the 66, 38 have a 3.5 or higher. So these are true student athletes, and we've talked a lot of them about just the fact that this is not just a 1 year and done type thing. This is a 4-year school. You're going to graduate from here. So but recruiting class wise, there's some big names that we're bringing in that we're really excited about. We look at spring ball right now. We look at spring practice, and we see some holes that need to be filled, and some guys that can come in and compete right away for a position. If you talk about the number, if you look at the last couple of years, they've brought in a lot of transfers. Right now of the 75, only 2 are transfers, and just great kids as well. So a lot of incoming freshmen. We're going to be a young team. We'll be a hungry team, and we're going to get after it.
And how important is it to bring in players that you've personally scouted and know what they can truly bring to the table as far as skill-wise goes, versus these guys that are here that you don't really know a whole lot about?
That's really an interesting question right now. We're getting a chance to see these guys that we have that are on the roster right now, and so going into the fall, we're going to know so much about them. The disadvantage that we had in recruiting this year was that we came in really, really late in the game. Coach Morrison wasn't even hired until
January 4th.
January 4th, which was almost exactly a month before signing day. And of course, he was the first one here, and he had to build a staff after that and try to get after it. So we were really kind of behind the 8 ball in recruiting and didn't get on the road a lot, and didn't get to, we weren't scouting these guys when they were in their season.
10th, 11th grade, yeah.
Now, one of the advantages that we did have was a couple of the guys that are on the staff were recruiting the area at their last job, wherever they were. So they brought some of that knowledge to them, and we were able to get some kind of some inside tracks on some kids that they had already been communicating with. But obviously that goes a long way. When you see a kid's highlight tape, you're seeing what he wants you to see.
Mm-hmm.
You're seeing what they feel really good about, and when you're on time and you're able to recruit the whole year through, you really get to see those kids in situations that aren't ideal when they're not playing it, when they're playing against really, really hard competition.
Or just going to practice.
Yeah. Seeing what that kid's like on a Tuesday,
Yeah.
At practice when the game's not on the line, and what kind of teammate is he, and that's something that we're really looking forward to going forward.
But just seeing the class that we're bringing in, I mean, we did get to only see, what they wanted us to see. But we are excited about the 75 coming
Sure.
in and what they can do. But if you talk about kind of where we were when we came in, it was a lot. It's an evaluation period. We tell the guys every day, we're looking at it on the field. We're evaluating every day the film from practice. But we're also checking out their GPAs. We're also looking at their class attendance. We're also looking at about what they're doing in the weight room. So there's a lot more than just what's on the field right now. Yes, we are evaluating daily every play, the first step, the angles they're taking, the effort they're giving at practice. And some of these guys have rose up the ranks and they have garnered themselves to be in position to be maybe from a walk-on status, a preferred walk-on, to now being on scholarship. Some others have kind of just said, well, they're going to stay at the same level. And some, have put themselves in a bad situation by not doing the right thing in the classroom. And they've been told that since day one. Academics are number one with me because, you're a student athlete first. And even if you love football and you love the game, if you're not passing your classes, then you're not going to be eligible for the fall. If you're not eligible for the fall, you will receive no athletic scholarship, period. So because that can go towards someone that can help us in the fall. Yeah. It's a great evaluation tool right now because we see what the previous staffs were able to bring in and evaluate those guys and see maybe we did have some holes that we needed to fill based on player personnel at those positions.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to what we said the first time you were on the show, is that it's more than just being a football player.
It is.
Especially being here.
Yep.
There's a whole lot more to it. The rumor, the rumor floating around is that there's 5 to 6 quarterbacks on the roster. What can you vouch for that?
With the guys coming in?
Yeah, with the guys coming in.
So we signed 3 quarterbacks. All of them are 3.7 or higher GPAs, really bright kids that are coming in. All had really great seasons last year, winning records as a high school quarterback. They're very different in just their stature. I mean, you got Coley Watson who's coming in. He's 5'10", about 185 pounds. He's a little Drew Brees-esque. He scrambles, he runs the ball well, he's got a great arm. He's a winner. And then you got Jacob Brumby coming in from Pickens County, who's 6'5" and just a pure pocket passer that can just got such a strong arm. And then with the guys returning right now, there's 3 quarterbacks that have been practicing daily, and then a quarterback that's on the roster, but he's played running back, he's played receiver in Aaron Bryant, and he was just given his a medical redshirt year, so he actually gained another year of eligibility, so he will be coming back this next fall.
So how tough is it going to be to pick just one of those guys?
It's competition.
Yeah.
It's competition, and they know when we report, and the report date's going to be August 3rd, possibly August 4th, but we're really shooting for that August 3rd date when all the players move in. We'll go through our compliance meetings. We'll go through getting everyone a physical and team meetings, and then when practice starts, it is day one. You've got to win the job because we let these guys know every single day that they're out there that you're practicing to earn scholarship money now, but you haven't earned a position until these new guys that come in and you show what you can do with them. It's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be hard. I mean, Tyler he's done well, and but you have Brandon Dickerson that's done really well, as well as
Caleb Winton.
Caleb
Winton had a great high school career. He's a great high school player, and he's got a lot of potential to succeed at this level too.
So every quarterback that you recruited fits your scheme of offense, correct?
Some a little bit better. I mean, it just depends on, we're going to be a zone concept scheme. We're going to be able to run the football. We're going to rely on a lot of the RPO game to help us out, the run pass option. Some of them can move a little bit better than others. Some of them have a stronger arm. But, yes, they do fit the system. It's just, how specific do you want to be when you talk about fitting the system? Because Brumby has got a super strong arm. Coe can move better in the pocket. So, and then the guys that are here, they are adapting and they are learning, and they're learning the system pretty quickly as well, because we've implemented a lot in about 4 weeks.
Coach Burnham, you got anything to add to that?
Yeah, and I think when you start talking about who you're recruiting and trying to fit them into what you're doing, especially at this level, you really mold your system around who you have. And I know I may be cheating a little forward here, but one of the coaches that I really look forward to that I really look up to is currently the offensive coordinator at Fresno State. His name's Kalen DeBoer.